What is up, guys? Mechaniccg here with the LNR crew, and today what we're going to be doing is spectating round 1 of the endurance series. This time it's the Forza P2 event. We're going to see a wide range, not a wide range of cars, but we've got 3 different vehicles, as you can see up here, that drivers will be using. Starting off with this, the Ford DP number 2. This is from 2015. This car will be driven by a small number of drivers alongside the Mazda B12-80, another one of the P2 cars. And over half of the grid today will be using this, the Chevy Daytona prototype. As you can see, the performance of these cars are pretty much identical in terms of top speed, handling, and acceleration, and especially braking. Most of these cars are identical. It will all be down to driver skill. And here we go. Round 1 of the Forza P2 event around Road America. Let's get ready. As we can see, the cars are going towards the grid. They are getting ready for the race. And they're off. Fozzie starting in first place with the Jack Daniels livery there. As you can see, the drivers going down that first straight, speeding down the straight. They're coming into this first corner. Heavy braking zone. This is where so much action is going to happen. You can see there's so many of these Chevy cars. The Chevy, an absolute beautiful design. Beautiful. I love the tail lights on the Chevy. As we can see, the drivers battling for those positions, trying to get as far forward as possible on this first lap. Positions mean everything in these races, and especially getting those positions as soon as possible. You see Pizza Boy and Big J Burger there swapping positions towards the back of the pack. We got Poshy and Rue all the way there at the front. Let's go and take a look a little bit further back towards the center of the pack now. And as you can see, there is a pass. Shifty looking to pass Dizzy as soon as possible through this section here. We have Ozzy Bogan in 10th place, looking to try and overtake Houdini. Spalls in 11th. Loads of drivers going through these corners here. This car typically tops out at around about 180 miles an hour, but going through that corner just there, most of these drivers will be running around about 140 miles an hour and getting up towards 170 before the end of this straight. And you can see Shifty there going very wide, actually getting passed by Ozzy Bogan there. Ozzy Bogan making that pass. You can see Hellcat and Crow trying to make a pass as well, but we do have a driver going wide towards the back, and that is Crow. Crow going a little bit too wide for comfort there. Let's go and have a look a little bit further forward, or a little bit further back actually, that is. And we can see Houdini is currently neck and neck with Hellcat, but he has the inside line for that first corner at the next section. Coming up to the braking zone, Houdini is now neck and neck with Phoenix. Spalls has gone and overtaken Rue there. Rue has been overtaken. And here, neck and neck, you do see... I need the player information. There we go. We do see Houdini getting that pass on Shifty, holding Shifty off as much as he can. Spallin is trying to catch up alongside Shifty there. Not very confident on this track, but we do see Crow going even further towards the back of the pack right now. Here we have Big J Burger in 19th position. Currently looking to catch up with Zeus, if possible. And go around that long sweep and corner. Again, 52 laps around this track is a huge amount of laps, especially as this track is around about a 1 minute 50 per lap time. A very, very long race. As you can see, Big J Burger going round the outside of Zeus. A very nice pass into that braking zone there. Zeus going wide, unfortunately, through there. Let's go and take a look a little bit further forwards, and let's go have a look at Shifty. Shifty neck and neck with Pizza Boy. You can see Phoenix currently trying to catch up now, going on the inside line here. And he has managed to get that inside line. Phoenix getting that pass on Shifty. Coming up into that second corner now, and Phoenix again pushing very hard through this track. Pizza Boy actually starting the race off in 23rd position, and within 2 laps has already made himself 10 places. But now that the slower drivers are out of his way, we are going to see those positions slowly being gained. Let's go and take a look at Dizzy now. Dizzy is one of the few drivers that is actually running the Mazda car right now, and he is neck and neck with RMR Kingdom right now. He's going on the, actually making the pass on Kingdom, a little bit of contact between the two, but you can see Hellcat up there in 9th position with Spaulding in 8th and Aussie Bogan in 7th. And we do actually see a battle at the moment for first place position already still at the start of this event between Poshy and Fozzy. And as you can see, Poshy also running the Mazda car, Fozzy in that Chevy Daytona prototype. A bit of contact going through that final corner onto that main straight. Big bump draft there. Big J Burger gaining 13 seconds between his last lap time. Ekane gaining 18 seconds. We see Poshy has gone up 1 position. Rain gone up 3. Rain is just behind the rest of the guys here. Spaulding up 11. Aussie Bogan up 9. We see Hellcat up 3. Pizza Boy going up by 5. And there's a lot of position changes. Sparrow going up. Dizzy going down. I believe, oh, that is 3 people already in the pit lane. Let's go and take a look at these drivers and have a look. So, RMR Kingdom has taken his pit stop alongside Dizzy and also alongside Holden Boy. All 3 of those drivers are making their pit stops. Let's go and have a look at Rain now. Rain also running the Mazda. A very interesting sound from the Mazda. It's got a very low engine noise. As we can see, Rain is trying to catch up very quickly, and he is managing to do a very, very good job keeping this Mazda under control. A lot of the time you see these P2 cars are very unstable compared to, say, the P1s or even the GT3s, so trying to keep these under control is a lot more difficult. And now these drivers are neck and neck going through that next section. We can see Fozzy here trying to hold off Rain, but Rain is going to push himself through, actually making contact with Fozzy, and Fozzy has gone and messed his lineup there. And Rain has taken that second place position. Let's go and move a little bit further back towards the back of the pack again. And we are going to be looking at 14th position, and this is Houdini. Currently battling with Sparrow and Deutsch Machine. And contact has been made. A lot of contact being made by the drivers in that final corner there. Huge amount of contact being made. We've seen multiple drivers bump into each other. Also, Sparrow here in the, I believe it's the Ford. It does look to be the Ford. And this car, with that Monster Energy design, very, very Very nice design. I love a good Monster Energy design. You see Sparrow has ended up backing off. He's around about a second away from Houdini now. So that battle will have ended fairly swiftly. Let's go and have a look at Hellcat. Hello, Mr. Hellcat. In the Chevy. A very nice design, I will admit. Beautiful design there. As we can see, Hellcat's gone a little bit wide through that first section there. But coming up to the long sweeping corner, this is where loads of time can be lost and gained based on how you control your throttle. And you see Pizza Boy actually trying to catch up with 7th place up there. 7th place being Spools at the moment. Here we see the drivers coming around the second to last corner. This one can trip up so many people so many times. Phoenix getting a little bit of sideways action there, and so does Hellcat. And unfortunately, Hellcat will have lost a tiny bit of time through that section because of that. Let's go and move back to Big J Burger. We haven't seen him much. Oh, and Big J Burger has gone off, unfortunately. A big shame there. And we do actually see a driver in the pit lane right now. That is Dizzy at the moment. Dizzy has made his first pit stop. Let's go and take a look at number 10, which is Hellcat again. Hellcat has managed to catch back up with Phoenix. And here we can see Hellcat making a very, very beautiful pass on Phoenix through there. And actually catching up very quickly to Ozzy Bogan, in fact. Hellcat's gone a little bit wide, but again, still gaining time on the others. And Phoenix going very close on the inside there, messing up Hellcat's line, unfortunately. A massive shame there. And we're now actually seeing, further behind, we're actually seeing Shifty trying to catch up. Shifty's going to try and get that position from Hellcat. Shifty is in 11th position right now. But I doubt that that is going to be his finishing position. I think Shifty as well is one of the drivers that has already made a pit stop. But again, it's a 3-stop mandatory, so you have to minimum take 3 stops. But some of these drivers are going to try and run, I believe some of them are going to try and run fuel-saving tactics. So that they can run on slightly worn tyres. Slightly more weathered tyres. Right, we are now on board with Phoenix at the moment, who is catching up with Ozzy Bogan again. Unfortunately, Hellcat did lose a lot of positions, and there goes Phoenix. He has spun his car. And we're going to see Hellcat swiftly make a pass through there. And Shifty getting very close, but now Shifty obviously has Phoenix in between him and Hellcat, so Shifty will potentially start losing Hellcat. But still... Oh, that is the wrong button. Still in the same position, so could potentially see himself into that top 10 fairly soon. Let's go and take a look at Crow now. A little bit further behind, trying to catch up with Shifty. Contact made through that high-speed corner there. As you can see, Crow has made that pass, going very late into that braking zone. Shifty doing the same thing, but going wide on the exit of that corner. We actually see EK now in the pit lane. He's now been lapped by first position there. Some very, very, very good driving so far. Again, 52 laps, a massively long race. We are going to be looking at around about an hour and 45 minutes for this race, potentially. A very, very, very long race. Let's go and take a look at Poshy, who is still currently trying to keep up with Rain. And lately, Poshy has been threatening Rain with his title. Rain hasn't been getting as far away as he normally does. The Mazda, though, sounding very nice. And a good few corners there from Poshy. Let's go head back again. We got a battle still a little bit further back between Houdini and Shifty right now. Let's go and take a look at these guys. As you can see, oh, by the looks of it, we have had a disconnect, and that is EK unfortunately disconnecting from the event. Here we see Houdini going flat out through that corner, and you see the speed that these cars are actually holding through here. Down that straight, you see Houdini going on the inside. Is he going to make that pass? He has for now. Is he going to seal the deal? And he has. Shifty losing that position, going back into 13th position now. But again, Shifty is coming back for the revenge, and you see him getting very, very close up into that final corner. These cars are going to be neck and neck going down that main straight right now. As you can see into that first corner, Dizzy not quite managing to catch up enough, but still 0.2 seconds. So Houdini going a little bit slow through that corner. Enough that Shifty could catch up, but again, Houdini's getting those exits, managing to defend very nicely. That these guys are just going to be battling for a long time. And the longer that they battle for, the quicker it will be before potentially Sparrow could actually catch these guys up and start battling them. Houdini going a bit wide there. Shifty actually losing a fairly decent amount of time. And again, Sparrow, you see him in the background now catching up. Trying to gain some positions wherever he can. Going around the long sweeping corner. Very, very nice drive. And by the looks of it, Dizzy has backed off. He's now 1.4 seconds behind. A big enough gap. Let's go and take a look at 20th position, which is RMR Kingdom. No longer RMR Kingdom. He is now in 19th. We do see Give. We see Give and Zeus currently battling for that 20th position. But you see Zeus easily getting that pass through that long sweeping corner there. We do see a lot of cosmetic damage on a lot of these cars today. The RMR Kingdom actually staying relatively neutral with his lap times, consistently pulling off less than 0.2 second difference, either plus or negative, from his lap times. Spalling going up 12 positions, while Spall's going up 6 positions from the start grid. Crow going up 13, Phoenix going up 9. We see Sparrow also going up 2, and Big J Burger unfortunately going back 6. We see Dizzy going back 12 positions, RMR going back 11, and then we have Holden Boy going back 3. Poshy has managed to make a pass on Fozzie. Poshy's now in 2nd place. Let's now go and take a look at Hellcat, and as you can see, Hellcat is in 9th position again after having that incident going very wide on that corner, on that long sweeping corner. He's now catching back up through those positions. You see Crow on the inside in 10th position, trying to make that pass. Hellcat and Crow coming together in that corner. As you can see, Aussie Bogan and Hellcat have both decided to go into the pit stop and go for their first service of their race. Again, these cars, if we take a look further forward towards, say, Fozzie right now, who currently has not taken a pit stop but does have a Poshy right on his tail. If we do take a look at the player info and have a look at damage, we do see the cars are currently at 40% fuel as of lap 11, which by the time we get to lap 18, lap 17, somewhere around there, we are going to see the fuel completely run out. So it is a 3-stop mandatory at around about lap 15, lap 15, 30, and 45 as an average to be able to do it. And you see Poshy trying to go round the outside there and actually making a lot of contact, forcing his way through. Is Fozzie going to be able to do a late braking strategy? And he is. Poshy losing the rear of the car there. Welcome, Alfie, to the chat. How are you today? And let's go and move further back towards Poshy and actually take a look at his perspective. Again, trying to catch up. We're going to see Poshy potentially try to do some dive bombs to try and get himself a position. But again, we are only on lap 12 out of 52. We're not even a quarter of the way into the race yet. So, dive bombs we won't see from Poshy just yet. And oh, you see a very late lunge from Poshy there, trying to make that pass on Fozzie, but unfortunately managing to mess up his exit there big time, going way too deep and way too slow. So Fozzie actually managing to get his position back, and in fact, Poshy has given up a lot of time, but Fozzie going a little bit sideways, Poshy moving out of the way to make sure there's no contact. Again, contact through this section. Going through that long sweeping corner there. Contact made, and Fozzie has gone off the track, but Poshy has slowed down. Very sportsmanly driving of him. That's not even in the English dictionary, but I don't care. It is now. Sportsmanly. And that has now opened an opportunity for a new contender for 2nd place position for the battle for 2nd. And that is Cuz. Due to their fight, we now see Cuz catching up with this group, catching up with Poshy and Fozzie there. Poshy has backed himself off to give Fozzie a chance to get some distance after completely destroying that section of his race. Especially his lap. His lap time is going to go downhill big time for that. It's a stream team, Alfie. Let's go and take a look at Sparrow now. Sparrow is currently trying to catch up with Shifty. He has been for quite a while now, and as you see, coming up to the end of this corner, at the end of the straight, coming into that first corner, Shifty managing to storm his way away after Sparrow messing up his line through that section. We now have Pizza Boy, who, Pizza Boy, I believe, started very far towards the back of the pack at the start of the race. Somewhere around about 18th, 19th, potentially 20th. And Pizza Boy pushing his way all the way up into 7th position now. We will actually be able to have a look. If we look at the damage, we can see if anyone's taking a pit stop. And Pizza Boy will be taking a pit stop very soon. Not sure whether it's going to be at the end of this lap or the next lap. But very, very soon you see that fuel being 26%. He's not got long left, but he has done very well to preserve his rear tyres on this car. Really surprising. Those fronts are worn out, but those rear tyres and the preservation of them, very, very good driving skill there. And he's catching up big time to spoil him right now. Very, very quickly. Coming up to that first corner, a little bit of time lost to Pizza Boy. 0.3 seconds right now. Very nice. Here we see going through these two very fast corners. They're going to be coming up to a heavy braking zone in a moment. This is where Pizza Boy can get close enough that he could do an outside pass on this long sweeping corner. Looks like he's looking for the inside to potentially get a pass on the high speed straight. Let's have a look and see, is he going flat out in the kink? He has managed to go flat out without a problem. Slamming onto those brakes. Going a bit wide through that section. The FIA would question that. Pizza Boy flat out. Looking for a pass on that inside. Not quite managing to get it, unfortunately. Let's go and turn that off and move a little bit further back to the pack to 15th position. And this is Mr. Big J Burger. Big J Burger currently in the Ford, I believe. 52 laps. Yes, this is a endurance race, Alfie. We're going to be seeing 52 laps, around about an hour and 40 minutes of racing. That's typically what we saw in the last event. The last one was on a much, much shorter track. So this one could be much longer, to be honest. Could be around about 2 hours, to be perfectly honest. You see Big J Burger catching up with Dizzy. We do actually see Rue taking a pit stop there. Stopping into the pits to get himself a fresh set of tyres. And here we have Sparrow. Sparrow currently in 12th position. Looking to catch up with Shifty in 11th right now. Again, heavy into these braking zones. There are so many braking zones in Road America that is probably why we're seeing a lot of front tire wear. Because again, slamming on those brakes on multiple corners. If you look how many heavy braking zones there are, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 extremely heavy braking zones, and then ones where you have to slow down from like 120 to 50 kind of braking zones. Just normal braking zones. You've got another 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. 8 big braking zones, and then 4 just extremely ridiculous braking zones. So we're going to see a huge amount of front tyre wear. And we're also going to start seeing a lot of drivers coming into the pits now. So potentially we do see pizza and all that. As you can see, Sparrow again in the 2015 Ford 02 Daytona prototype. Shifty there. Sparrow is now coming into the pit lane, and as you can see on the damage meter, you do see he has come into the pit stop with 5% fuel. You see the front tires at 56% wear, while the rears are at 34%. The car coming into pit stop. We're going to see all of that get reset, fuel back to 100. Obviously, they have to simulate the stopping time for everyone. Exactly the same time for everyone. Car really does come out of the pit lane very slow, though. Surprisingly slow. And as you can see, multiple drivers now going and coming out of the pit stop. Let's go and take a look at Cuz now. And Cuz is currently attempting to catch up with Fozzie right now. We do see Phoenix in 8th position as well, just behind, also trying to catch up. Crow, what is up? How are you today? Welcome to the chat. And here we see Cuz going flat out, coming up to the final of the major braking zones of this track. Again, slamming on those brakes, wearing those front tires out like crazy, these drivers are. Potentially seeing around about 3 to 4 pit stops. Some of these drivers may have to take 4 pit stops if they're not lenient on their fuel mix. Again, seeing Sparrow stopping on lap 16 to get himself fuel at 5%. We're definitely going to see the drivers on fumes at the end, or a 4th pit stop. And there we see Cuz now up in 5th position. Again, seeing multiple drivers coming into that pit lane there. And if we do take a look at the damage stats, we can see Cuz has around about 10% of damage on his front tires already. Fuel is 80%. Thank you very much for those drinks there. And here we go, Cuz, again, trying to catch up on that inside line there. Here we have a very, very nice drive here. Going flat out, coming up to that 3rd to last corner. Heavy, heavy braking zone. This is where, again, so much tyre wear is going to happen from all of the drivers. Not quite the heaviest braking zone, but definitely the 2nd most heavy. And again, it's so shaded in that section. We have Fozzie going very wide on the exit there. We are seeing Cuz trying to catch up big time, keeping on Fozzie as much as he possibly can. We do see Crow as well going into the pit stop, making his first stop by the looks of it. Which, for Crow, that is a very long stint. Typically wouldn't expect that kind of a stint. We are going to go and have a look at 6th position now, which is Pizza Boy, and now 5th position. And Spallin is in 6th there. Trying to catch up. Poshy getting a little bit sideways. He's in 7th right now. But I believe Poshy would have also potentially just taken his pit stop. Let's go and take a look at Poshy. And have a look at his fuel stats. And as we can see, he has taken a pit stop within the last 2 or so laps. You see the cars going flat out through that section again. So down for another heavy braking zone, coming into the long sweeping right-hand corner. And we see one of each vehicle. We see the Chevy up in front. We see the Ford in the middle, driven by Spallin. And then Poshy in that Mazda in 7th position right now. These Mazdas have a very nice engines, and you do see Poshy getting very, very close to Spallin's backside here. As you see Poshy coming up to that first corner, are we going to see a pass? Crazy lunge by Poshy. Potentially for 6th position. And Poshy's actually gone a little bit further back, but still very, very close to the rear there. And we're actually going to go and have a look at whereabouts that position is. And it's 0.4 seconds now. But that would have easily been 0.1 difference being up his tail. Again, coming up to that heavy braking zone right now. Spallin getting a little bit sideways. That's enough for Poshy to potentially catch up and gain a tiny bit of time. And again, he has just gained himself a 0.1 second going through these corners again. This is where Poshy shines, managing to control this car, especially this one. A very potentially uncontrollable car. We're now going to have a look at 18th position. Again, all of these positions are worth points. So Sparrow, even though he's 18th, is still going to be looking to try and get that 17th place position. We have passed the 1/3 mark. We've got around about 6 more laps left to go before we get to that halfway mark. And by the time we get to the halfway mark, most of these drivers will be thinking about taking a second pit stop. Which is something we very rarely see in racing nowadays, especially in Formula 1. Drivers don't typically look to take a second pit stop until they're, what, 10 laps off from the finish. If they do take a second stop. That is definitely something that Formula 1 needs to change, is to add more tyre compounds that just wear out quicker. Much quicker. Here we now have Houdini catching up with Ozzy Bogan in 13th position. Again, these cars are going to be spreading out much more extreme than Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, because Laguna Seca, unfortunately, that track is very short. And typically, I believe Laguna Seca could probably be around about 2/3 the length of this track. And this one has a lot of straights, so maybe even shorter. Maybe about half the length. But because there's so many corners on Mazda Raceway, the cars didn't actually get up to a lot of speed. So it was constant battling. With this, we're going to see a lot of the battles happening at the end of corners, just like that with Houdini making that pass on Ozzy Bogan there. But we're going to see most of those battles being completed after the fact. We're now going to go back to Sparrow again. And as you can see, Sparrow full on trying to get up into those higher up positions. Taking as much curb as possible to try and go as fast as possible through this section. Let's go and have a look at some race stats. And as we can see, the fastest speed is apparently Hellcat with 209 miles an hour. I believe something may have gone wrong because I've never been able to hit 209 in this car. But we do see Rain is currently 37 seconds ahead of second place right now. And best lap is a 1 minute 50. Sparrow right now very, very close up to Shifty. Coming into this heavy braking zone again. Getting so close, and you can see that gap is literally 0.1, 0.2 seconds going through this section. But Sparrow messing up his line there. He's lost himself at around about 0.3 seconds. And someone has unfortunately disconnected. Let's go and take a look, see who that is. That's a lot of people going forward positions, as you can see. And that is Cuz and Zeus have both DNF'd. I didn't even notice that Zeus had disconnected. But Cuz has unfortunately DC'd from the event. Let's now go and take a look at Deutsch Machine. I sort of know a little bit of German. And as we can see, catching up with I can't speak. Spoolin. Catching up with Spoolin. We see Machine in the Red Bull car there, very nice. And that Mazda going very quick on the inside line there, storming past Spoolin. That Mazda doing an insane job. For some reason, I do not like the look of the Ford. It looks really horrible. It looks horrendous. That Ford car. I don't know whether it's just me. On the other hand, though, if we go and take a look at Fozzie right now, who is currently running the Chevrolet, a beautiful car. That looks insane. And that Jack Daniels design. Love a good old bottle of JD. We actually do have a Pizza Boy as well in 4th position right now. And if we take a look at damage, we should hopefully see more than 40% fuel. And we see 63%, which means that Pizza Boy should easily right now be able to go on till lap 35 before having a pit stop. And Pizza Boy being in 4th position putting on a really, really good show today. He could potentially do this 3-stop strategy, no problem. But again, as you can see, as well with all the other cars, those front tires are wearing out quick. And I do actually want to double check. I believe these cars are all, was it rear-wheel drive? I couldn't imagine these cars being front-wheel drive, not race cars. And as you can see, the amount of force that's actually being put on these tires as they're going around those corners is absolutely extreme. You see that front left constantly with that open ring where there's just so much force going on that tire. And you can see as well some fairly substantial heat gain as well through those braking zones. Let's go and take a look now. First position is currently, again, Rain Righteous. And he is currently in the pit stop. Currently taking himself his second stop of the event. Let's go and take a look at Sparrow now. And Sparrow at the moment running a 50% fuel usage. That's just gone up to 51 apparently. Okay. And he's actually getting a little bit more wear on his rear tires than other drivers. So I presume the Fords are running a more aggressive rear than the other cars. As we see over here as well, we do see Spalls currently in that pit lane on his way to the exit. We have unfortunately had another disconnect. Phoenix up 9 positions. We see Rue going down 12 positions, unfortunately for him. Shifty going down quite a few as well. We see Give has unfortunately disconnected from the event now. So we've had 4 non-finishers already before even halfway through this event. Which is a massive shame, unfortunately. Let's go and take a look at Phoenix now. We haven't seen Phoenix for a while. Phoenix running that very nice Gran Turismo design in Forza Motorsport. Interesting. PlayStation 2. Without a shadow of a doubt, the PlayStation 2 was and still is the best console that has ever existed. Throw out the window the fact that it got the most sales. That doesn't matter to me. It is the best console ever. Not once have I pulled my PS2 out and gone, this is boring. You see Phoenix coming up to the end of this straight. Going to try and gain some time on Hellcat. And as you can see, managing to gain himself 0.1 second through that corner there. And throughout the first 2 corners, gaining himself 0.2. A very, very nice jump. And we actually see the drivers are on that final lap before that midway marker now. And some of these drivers are going to be potentially thinking about taking their second stop at some point. And Phoenix going a little bit sideways there, losing himself around about half a second there. And here we go. Phoenix still trying to catch up with those drivers there. Let's go and take a look a little bit further back, and we're going to see a battle going on between Rue and Sparrow right now. Chevy versus Ford, a very nice duo, a very nice battle. And that is a very nice design for Rue's car, Skittles. I do like Skittles. Was never allowed Skittles as a kid. Apparently I went off my tits, hyper, so... we see Rue going a little bit wide there, and Sparrow gaining himself some distance. And in fact, so much so, Shifty is actually now gaining himself some distance, trying to get up to Rue. So, Sparrow's got distance against Rue. Shifty's gaining distance to Rue. Going through that long sweeping corner again. We're going to see, potentially flat out, we can see a huge time difference depending on whether people will lift or not. And as you can see, Shifty has not lifted at all. But Shifty also losing a fairly substantial amount of time through that braking zone, losing himself 0.3 seconds there. And now making that 0.6 now. 0.7, 0.8. Shifty's gone big. And then Rue has gone wide. Shifty's gone and made that pass. Rue has gone back down to 16th position now. A big shame. And we see Ozzy Bogan currently in the pit lane now, taking his second stop. And now let's have a look at Shifty. Shifty again, still trying to catch up with Sparrow. And we got Rue at the back there of this group. 2 seconds, 2.1. A very large time difference now. We're now going to shift over to Rain, who's currently in first position, and this is where we can actually see how well Rain performs. You can see how that car just grips all these surfaces, and you see Rain holding that car on the verge of control there, and how late that braking zone is for him. He will go to the edge, and we actually see Hellcat now in the pit lane, apparently. Hellcat, I believe that is Hellcat. It is. Hellcat in the pit lane. And again, Rain is currently 50 seconds ahead of Fozzie, but another interesting thing that we do see, we now see Pizza Boy in third position. Let's go and take a look a little bit further back. Thank you for the bits, whoever that was. Thank you so much. Let's go a little bit further back and have a look at Pizza Boy. And actually, Pizza Boy has currently been overtaken by Poshy, as you see there. Let's have a look at tire wear. And as you can see, Pizza Boy running 44% tire wear on those front tires, and the rears running 24.1. You can see the fuel, 31% tyre wear. Slamming onto those brakes. You see Kingdom is currently in the middle of that group, but Pizza Boy's going to try and get himself past to try and stay on the tail of Poshy. And again, Pizza Boy doing very well controlling his car there. And then we have Poshy going around that long sweeping corner. Again, thank you so much for the biddies, everyone. Going flat out through that section there. And you see Poshy actually gaining a very large amount of time. That Mazda managing to have an extreme amount of downforce through that long, fast corner there. Gaps between Fozzie and Pizza Boy currently closing quite extreme at the moment. And here we can see, again, Poshy trying to hold his line as much as possible to get as close to Fozzie as possible. Again, Fozzie has made a pit stop since, well, I believe he has. And it is a close battle. We see Poshy getting very, very close to Fozzie. 0.1 seconds. Poshy currently running very damaged front tires right now. Very, very damaged. Going on the inside of that corner there. Smooth sailing through. That Mazda engine, though, is beautiful. And there we have Poshy up into that second place position right now. And Poshy actually making a split decision to not pit. He believes he can still run on 50% worn tyres, which, if he can do that, he can do that. But those tyres have worn out very quick for tyres. I don't know whether it's because he's been battling a lot, potentially. Thank you for the biddies again. Thank you so much. Again, 34% fuel. So, potentially we could see Poshy coming in for a pit stop at the end of lap 33, lap 34, somewhere around there. And as you can see there, Aussie Bogan in 17th. Managing to hold a bit of a gap between Poshy and Fozzie now. Actually, Fozzie has disappeared on my sheet. No, he hasn't. He has just gone for a pit stop by the looks of it. And yeah, there you go. You can see 98% fuel wear means completely refueled. So Fozzie will have a little bit more petroleum. Let's go and have a look at Pizza Boy now. As you can see, Pizza Boy doing an insane drive today. 55% front tire wear. Currently at 15% fuel wear. So he's only going to be able to get one more lap in safely. Be able to get one more lap in before he has to pit. He could potentially squeeze 2 more in. But squeezing 2 more in would probably be too much of a risk. And we do see Pizza Boy contemplating whether he's going to go in. But deciding he's going to go for 1 more. Let's now go and have a look at Fozzie, who is currently behind Machine at the moment, trying to catch back up, get that pass on Machine in this corner here. We do have only 20 laps left to go, which will take us around about another 30 minutes to 35 minutes. And again, these cars flooring it through those sections. The amount of grip that these things have is absolutely unbelievable. Fozzie losing time to Machine there, actually. Quite a substantial amount of time. Machine's gained himself over a second so far. And I don't know whether that is just Fozzie currently running on not very warmed up tyres. But I wouldn't presume that tyre heat would have too much of an impact after a pit stop like that. But apparently, thyself it does. We actually see Big J Burger currently in the pit stop alongside Spools and Pizza Boy. Yeah, we didn't expect Pizza Boy to make too many more laps before needing a pit stop, and I believe he did go as long as he possibly could. Let's have a look at Spaulding now, who's currently in that second place position. And we can actually see Pizza Boy and Fozzie are now neck and neck together after coming out of that pit stop. But let's go say hi to Mr. Spaulding. We haven't said hi to him for a while now. And as you can see, Spaulding is neck and neck with Rue there. Up in second position. But as you can see, Spaulding is actually on 2% fuel. This is going to be an absolute shame to see. But I do not believe that Spaulding is going to make it to the end of that finish line. He's on 2% fuel. And these cars do not have reserve tanks. He's now on 1% fuel. We may potentially see a DNF where he runs out of petrol. That's going to be such a shame to see that. He's at 0%. He's now out of fuel. Let's go and have a look at his player information. Let's have a look at the dash. His car is spluttering, as you can see there. Throttle not managing. Is he still going to be able to make it? His car's going very slow, and you see Poshy actually pushing him along. Spaulding is spluttering. Is he going to make it into the pits? I believe so. That was a very, very close call for Spool in there, though. Let's double check that he is in fact, and he does get himself that full tank of fuel. But, oh god, that would have been an absolute disaster for Spool in there. Let's go and have a look at Phoenix. And Phoenix currently trying to catch up with Crow. But again, Phoenix only on 7% fuel. We do see Spaulding just coming out of the pit stop just ahead. We see Spauls as well, taking himself a pit stop. Going into the pits there. Here we can see Spaulding up in 8th position right now, trying to catch up with Phoenix. Again, Phoenix gonna start seeing the suffering of that fuel usage fairly soon, potentially. But again, Spaulding was on 0 fuel at this stage, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem for them. Let's go and actually take a look further up in the pack, and we're going to have a look at Pizza Boy and Fozzie. And as we can see, Pizza Boy getting very, very up close and personal towards Fozzie right now. Pizza Boy's won in those positions as much as possible, and by the looks of it, I believe everyone has taken the stops that they need to. Pizza Boy potentially will have one more stop, and then we will also see Fozzie take one more stop. Here we see Pizza Boy getting very, very close. And actually, Poshy has gone off the track. He's managed to lose himself in position to Fozzie and Pizza Boy there. A massive shame, that is. Daisy with that VIP redemption. We'll get that badge sorted out for you later. And here we can see Pizza Boy getting very, very up close to Fozzie. And actually, Fozzie's being held up at the moment by Rue, as you can see there. And we do see a bit of contact between Pizza Boy and Fozzie. Rue going very, very wide on the outside there. But again, Rue being a back marker, having to pull off at wherever possible. Coming up to this heavy, heavy braking zone now. Again, this is the heaviest braking zone that there will be on this track. Coming up to that second corner again. Potential for a pass. Pizza Boy getting very, very up close to Fozzie there. Awesome. And here we see Pizza Boy again trying to gain time on Fozzie, but Fozzie putting up a very fair battle there towards that back of the pack. It's going to take a look at Spalls now, and Spalls currently trying to catch up with Spalling. Battle of the two. We do see Poshy behind as well in that Mazda, getting very close. You can see how close he's actually getting there. Spalls going around that outside there, very, very close to Spalling there. Bit of contact being made. Going around that long sweeping corner, Spalls making contact again. But Spalling's going very slow. Poshy managing to easily get past as well. Flat out through here. And Poshy spinning his car out, unfortunately, there. Big collision. And Poshy all the way back in 8th position. Let's load up the actual damage menu. And we can see, again, these races will run cosmetic damage only. But we do see that tyre wear and that fuel wear starting to suffer big time. By the looks of it, it also does look like Spalls is going to potentially run for just a final lap pit stop, but run as long as he can with his fuel strategy. Let's go take a look back at Pizza Boy now. And we have Pizza Boy and Fozzie racing for 3rd position at the moment. And then we can see that front left tyre is starting to wear out with substantial tyre wear. At 16.3% is when that starts going yellow. Apparently not. It didn't go yellow that time. Pizza Boy going very close on the inside there. But again, these drivers trying to make this stop last as long as possible. They don't want to take any extra unnecessary stops because that is so many positions that will get lost. And as we can see here, we have Kingdom in the pit stop right now, potentially taking their last stop. I think I've seen Kingdom take 2 or 3 stops for now. Just driving out the pit stop uses 0.1% tyre wear. 0.2, sorry. And here we have a group of drivers now. And these drivers, we're looking at Phoenix and Sparrow battle. But this group is actually from 3 different lap numbers. We see Holden there on lap 36. Phoenix on lap 37, and we do see up ahead in front is 2nd place on lap 38. 3 different lap counts for 3 groups of drivers in one massive group. And that's how quick these drivers will start blending in with each other. And here we go into that heavy braking zone again. You see Phoenix get such a large jump onto Sparrow just like that. No problem. And we do see Rain currently obviously gaining 5 positions in this race. We do see Crow up 18 places. And if I'm not mistaken, I did see 20 for Machine. Starting all the way at the back of the pack and is now currently in second place. A very, very good drive from Machine there. I'm very surprised. You know what this car does remind me of, though? Reminds me of the Red Bull X20 2010 from Gran Turismo Sport. That design reminds me so much of that car, and that's bringing back childhood memories. Gran Turismo, beautiful game from Gran Turismo 5. And here we see Pizza Boy again starting to wear out his front tires there, as you can see, and the rear of his car with so much contact in this event. I don't think I've seen one car that actually has their rear lights in check. Let's go and have a look at Mr. Spools right now, who's currently battling with Crow. It's not very much of a battle at the moment, because it looks like Spools is going to get an easy pass on the inside of Crow. Car's going flat out through that section. Coming up to that heavy braking zone. You see Spools getting so close there. Trying to make that pass. And Spools has done it. And there you see Crow's actually going into the pit lane now. We're going to go and take a look back at Rain again. And here we have Rain up in first place position. A very nice drive so far. Rain's been at the front for pretty much the entire of this race, and what he can consistently do is pull off a high-speed lap. And that is something that you can very rarely see in drivers, is being able to be so consistent without making mistakes. And he can be quick whilst having that consistency. Rain is almost like a Lewis Hamilton. He can be quick and accurately consistent. Let's actually now go and have a look a little bit further back at Poshy now, who's in 7th position. And if we do have a look at his damage wear, he is on 81%, so potentially he has taken a pit stop fairly recently. I believe he's going to go to the end of this event now on this stint. I don't believe he's going to be making an extra pit stop. But being stuck at 7th position at the moment, he's got a lot of catching up to do. But you can see he is slowly catching up with Spool in there in 6th in that Ford. And also I believe that might be Fozzie in 5th. No, it's Pizza Boy. Coming up to the final. 10 laps left to go. Is the final push of this event. You can see Poshy's front tyres starting to wear out, but again, tyre wear means nothing in these events, typically. Here we have Spools in 3rd place, Fozzie in 4th, Pizza Boy in 5th, Spooling in 6th, Poshy in 7th. A gap of what seems to be around about 3 seconds between first and last of this group. Very, very close. And we're going to see a huge amount of fighting. And Machine is actually 43 seconds ahead. What's even more concerning is Machine is currently only 16 seconds behind of rain. And Machine doesn't look like he's going to be taking a pit stop anytime soon. That could potentially be a worry. And by the looks of it, we have seen a disconnect. So we will take a look and see who that was that disappeared. A very big shame, though. Fozzie, again, on a very, very good strategy there. Run into the end of the race with this setup. And unfortunately, that's Houdini that is disconnected. We haven't seen much of Houdini in this race, though. But right when there was only 10 laps to go, he disconnected. What a shame. Let's go and actually have a look at Machine now. So Machine is on a 46% fuel wear, so potentially he may have to take a pit stop. But, as you can see, if he does have to take a pit stop in this game takes no more than 30 seconds typically. I believe he could take that pit stop and still come out with a very nice second place finish there. Let's go have a look at Poshy now, who's currently battling with Pizza Boy. Getting very up close and personal, as you can see here. We haven't got many laps to go. But again, Poshy getting very, very up close and personal. And actually, we see Crow and Spallin have both taken a pit stop, pushing themselves back around about 34 seconds. So potentially we are seeing a 30-second pit stop, 35 seconds. If we do see Machine taking a pit stop, he'll still be around about 7 or 8 seconds ahead of Smalls, which is still an insane amount of time. And here again, we have Rain up in first place, 60 seconds ahead of third place. So he can lose an entire minute and still be on the podium. That is a huge amount of time. And Rain can pull this off every single race. I did not click clap. Forza's got a mind of its own right now today, actually. Yeah, it's still doing it. I think I need a new controller, actually. There's, my A button isn't working properly. As we can see here, we're on board Sparrow right now in 15th position, trying to catch up with Kingdom at the moment. Again, these guys going to be storming as much as possible, trying to get any final points that they can. Again, every single point, every single final point is worth something. Here we see Kingdom actually going a little bit wide through that section as well. Not very many laps left. And actually, who's that in last? Oh, that is Holden with a huge 94-second gap. Let's head back to Pizza Boy now, because Pizza Boy currently battling with Poshy. And you see, just there, Ozzy Bogan making contact with Poshy there, potentially interfering with a battle. And then we see Pizza Boy coming around that final corner. He can see Poshy, and he can see someone else, Fozzy. You can see Poshy and Fozzy in his sights. Not very long left to go for this race. And again, there's not much time left as well for them to get these positions. Very nice. Let's go have a look at a battle going on between Poshy and Fozzy now. As you can see, Poshy's managed to gain himself a lot of time here. The Mazda does sound very odd, though. It's a very low engine noise, which is really, really surprising. It sounds really off-putting. Not many laps left to go. 6 more laps. Coming up to this heavy braking zone, and Poshy has done an amazing dive bomb. But Fozzy still managing to pull it out of the bag there. A dive bomb like that extreme is going to lose you a huge amount of time. And by the looks of it, I don't believe there are actually any more battles except this battle between Poshy and Fozzy. And as you can see, Poshy going around the outside of Fozzy there. A very, very nice pass. I also would just like to mention, we've just hit 5,000 views on the Twitch channel. That's crazy. Thank you guys so much. Poshi's now flooring it, trying to gain as much distance. He's in 4th position right now, and he is definitely not looking to have another pit stop anytime soon. Spores, meanwhile, 4.3 seconds ahead, and actually you see Fozzy. It is the revenge of Fozzy, trying to get back and get that position back as much as he possibly can. Coming out to this heavy braking zone again. Fozzy on the inside there. Poshy doing another dive bomb. But is Fozzy... Again, Fozzy's going to do exactly the same as what happened on the last lap. He's going to take that position straight back off of Fozzy. And unfortunately for Poshy, that dive bomb has cost both Poshy and Fozzy. And now Pizza Boy is catching up, looking to try and get that position back again. Come around that long sweeping corner. Huge amount of time is being gained by Poshy, and that downforce is insane. But Poshy going a little bit wide and unfortunately losing that potential pass for that first section, but he still has the opportunity going into this heavy braking zone. Are we going to see Poshy do a dive bomb? He's gone onto the inside, not quite braked late enough to get that pass, unfortunately. Tanner, welcome to the chat. Come into the last few laps of this race. Tanner has just bought Forza Motorsport 7, everyone. It's a very good game. Very good game. And Poshy looking for that pass again to try and get back up into that 4th place position. We also have a driver, unfortunately, stopped on the track. That could be anyone. Unfortunately, that is Phoenix right now. Has stopped on the track to let everyone pass. That does open up an opportunity for Ozzy Bogan. If Phoenix does make a mistake, he's going to lose a lot of time. We do see Spores is currently 43 seconds behind Machine again. But by the looks of it, Machine will not be taking another pit stop. Or if he does, it will be one stop for a moment. Let's actually go and have a look at Machine and have a look at his damage view at the moment. Again, 22% fuel. Could potentially push that to the end of the race, but again, it is 3 mandatory stops. So if he hasn't already taken 3 stops, he may be in big trouble. But I believe it comes up on the heads up anyways. I have no name. Thank you so much for the follow, my dude. But a very, very surprising drive from Machine there. Putting on an impressive show. And as you can see, going a little bit further back, we have Ozzy Bogan in 12th position for the Supercar Auto team. You can see this car, absolutely amazing drive. And let's head back up to Fozzy now. We're going to lead off with Fozzy. We have Pizza Boy in 6th position, Fozzy in 5th, and Poshy in 4th. Poshy has managed to do a very good drive, managing to stay in that top 10 places throughout this entire event. Unfortunately, though, having 5 DNFs for this race, a lot of drivers disconnecting, We are looking at the final 3 laps. And potentially, I believe that may be rain coming across the... that is Machine actually going in for his pit stop. So potentially, we could see Spalls catch up enough to get a pass. But I highly doubt it. Spalls would have to do an insane drive. And as you can see already, the Mazda of Machine has come out of the pit lane. And he's come out of his pit box, come into the exit of the pit lane. Spalls has only just started that straight. And as you can see, Machine's already accelerating away. And he's gone around that first corner. So, by the looks of it, Machine has done an amazing drive and managed to seal that deal. You see that time rapidly going down as you see Spalls going across that straight. But as soon as he gets past that first corner, that is the true time. And by the looks of it, the true time is 11.1 seconds. Around about 11 seconds. That's how much of a lead Machine actually had. Spalls going a little bit wide there. Potentially losing a fairly substantial amount of time to Poshy. Which is not ideal, especially at these end stages of this race. But surprisingly for this race, Rain has not managed to lap every single car. I believe the last event he did manage to lap every single car except the 2. I think it was 2 cars he didn't manage to lap. And every single other car was lapped either once, twice, 3 times, or 4 times. And that is Spalls actually going off the track again. And there is Poshy getting that overtake. Spalls has lost his podium position. And we see Poshy getting up into that 3rd place. Fozzy's now up in 4th. And Spalls has lost it to Pizza Boy as well. He's gone from being in 3rd to being down in 6th. But Spalls is keeping on top of this though. He's not going to let it go easily. And as you can see there, holding on to those positions as well as possible. We do see Rain all the way there. You see that little number 1 on the map. The little white circle. That is Rain currently coming up towards the final section of his penultimate lap. And Spalls actually going back up into 5th position now. Gaining that position back from Pizza Boy. And also gaining another position on Poshy. Poshy managing to lose his 3rd place position. I did not even see that. Fozzy is now on the podium. And here we see Rain coming across that line for the 2nd to last time. Moving on to lap 52. Here we have Pizza Boy neck and neck with Spalls right now. These two going into that first corner very, very nicely there. None of the other drivers, unfortunately, are battling at the moment. We are stuck with a Poshy, Spalls, and Pizza Boy battle. Fozzy, I believe, has gone far enough ahead to actually seal his podium for now. These guys, again, have 1 more lap after this. Rain has started his final lap, but that doesn't mean it's the final lap for these guys. These guys, once they cross the line, will then have their final lap. And you see Machine has gone up 20 positions in this event. Crow going up 16, Spalling going up 8, Hellcat going up 2, Phoenix going up 9. You see Aussie Bogan going up 5, Sparrow going up 3, and then Shifty, Rue, and Big J Burger all going down over 5 positions throughout this race. And then we unfortunately also have 5 DNFs. These guys coming up to, as you can see there, Rain coming up to finish off his final lap. Let's have a look and actually see how long this race was. I believe it would have been around about an hour and 45 for this race. But again, I have no race timer whatsoever. And there you go. There's Rain across that finish line. We're now looking at the race end. 1 hour 39 and 12 seconds. So around about 1 hour 40. A little bit longer than the last race, which lasted 1 hour 36. Here we see Spalls going around the outside of Poshy. These two are battling it on that final corner to get that one position. Spalls up in 4th place. I'm pretty sure Spalls will be happy with a 4th place finish after losing nearly 3 positions towards the end of this race here. We have Fozzie in 3rd there, and Machine managing to seal off that 2nd place finish after just crossing the line there. See, Holden Boy actually 2 laps behind right now. And here we can see it is Fozzie, Spalls, and then Poshy. Spalls managing to rip that handbrake there just before the finish. Very, very nice drive there. Right, let's now have a look at the race results for today. In 1st place is Rain Righteous with a 1 hour 39 minutes and 12 seconds. Again, taking his 3 mandatory quick stops with a best lap of 1 minute 51. No one actually managing to get within 0.5 seconds of his best lap time, which is crazy. We then move on to Machine, who was 2nd, Fozzie 3rd, Spalls 4th, Poshy 5th. Pizza Boy 6th, Crow 7th, Spall in 8th, Dizzy 9th, Hellcat 10th, Phoenix 11th, Sparrow 12th, Kingdom 13th, Bogan 14th, Shifty 15th, Rue 16th, Big J Burger 17th, and Holden 18th. Unfortunately, we had 5 DNFs today. Houdini, Give, Cuz, Zeus, and Ekane. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for the next event in this series, which is going to be the P1 Endurance. See you next week.